day making dollars, nerd talk with the sports bet scholars. Yeah. It's R.I.P. to the bookies. R.I.P. to the bookies. R.I.P. to the bookies. R.I.P. to the bookies.
We are live. Welcome back to another edition of the Earle Sports Bet Show. My name is Nicholas Earle. I will be joined here in just a little bit by my brother Tim. But until then, it'll just be me for the moment, and then Tim will be here in a little bit. Walking into the house now. There you go. So Tim will be here in just a minute. But before we get into today's games, before we get into today's slate, which we have a decent-sized NHL slate, including action starting in just 2 hours, 12:30. The first game we get to talk about, 1 o'clock, the next two games, a 2 o'clock game, a 3:30 game, 4 o'clock games. We got afternoon hockey on a Monday. How awesome is that? So that should be exciting. Unfortunately, we have to recap yesterday. I only had 2 plays, and I got none of them. And both of them had third period leads led into the third period. That was fun. We'll talk about that game last. The Penguins, they were up 1-0 until about 6 minutes left to go in the third. They give up 2 unanswered goals and lose in regulation. So I'm starting to wonder when we start to think about putting the knife in the Penguins and say, start selling and start your rebuild. That core is not going to win anything. It's just not. That Penguins core is not going to do anything. When you're losing games like that, you're not going to do anything. The Kings were not in a good spot. That was their last game of a road trip. They were on a back-to-back. Sell. And I might be talking about the same thing with my team here in a second. The Islanders, plus 130. They were up 4-1 in that game. They were up 5-3 with about 5 minutes to go. They can't stay out of the goddamn penalty box. And the league's worst penalty kill gives up 2 goals on 2-man advantages with the goalie pulled. Because the first time it was a 4-on-3 power play, Rangers pulled the goalie, and they get a goal, make it 5-4. They do the same thing. They get a power play on a really weak call that could have arguably been embellishment against Lafreniere if he just worked on leg day a little bit more instead of falling to the ice when nothing happened, and then Mayfield gets called. And then they get another goal on a 6-on-4 with the goalie pulled. Infuriating loss there. And then they lose in overtime. Bad turnover in your defensive zone. And that was game. That one hurt. That was a game when it was 4-1 in the second period. I was looking towards the next game thinking, all right, am I going to have a 2-unit day or just a slightly positive day? Instead, I finished down 2.25 units because neither team could hold a third period lead. So that's super fun there. Absolutely infuriating day yesterday. Even though it was only 2 games, it's just lost 2 games in the stupidest ways possible. And it was a shorthanded goal for the LA Kings to go up 2-1 on the Penguins in that game, which ended up costing me that game there. So just a frustrating day. I did move on. I've already moved on a few of the games today. And here we go. All right. I had it on a different settings because it was the when it was just solo, it was like cutting off half the But I was looking at one thing today. I was kind of looking at what they have going in the for their future schedule and things along those lines. And then I noticed something, Tim. And I was looking at this. Do you know which 5 teams are the most profitable teams in the NHL right now?
No, I don't.
Number 5 is the New York Rangers, just because they're 36-19. Florida Panthers are number 4. Number 3 is the Philadelphia Flyers. Number 2 should shock nobody, Vancouver Canucks. And the most profitable team in hockey this year
is the jersey you're wearing.
Is the St. Louis Blues. Correct. And I moved on a play today. I'm on the St. Louis Blues to make the playoffs at plus 170. They're currently sitting in the 8th spot, and I see really no threat from the teams behind them. And here's the thing though, is this bet is basically the Blues to sit in that 8th spot and hold on to it. They're up 2 points on Nashville with a game in hand. They're up 4 points on the Wild. They're up 4 points on the Kraken, and they're up 5 points on the Flames with a game in hand. I don't see any of those 4 teams below them as that much of a threat towards a playoff spot for St. Louis in this one for this year. So I took a shot here, plus 170. You're telling me that there's that low of a chance they hold on to this spot. I think this team is legitimate. This is a team that has been underrated by the market the entire season long, and I've been making money with them the entire season long, basically, especially as a home dog. Hint, hint, what we're on today. Yeah, so bad day yesterday. I'm on, and then I added a little futures play with the Blues to make the playoffs. And I'll probably be looking to add more futures plays in the next little bit when I'm trying to find different spots I like and taking a look at like remaining schedules and things along those lines. And I'll probably find more spots like the St. Louis Blues to attack for playoffs and stuff like that.
There you go.
I also did move on the Panthers to win the East and win the Cup a couple days ago as well.
I will say I actually was looking at a team to win the Eastern Conference that's not Florida. And I know you're not going to like this. Rangers? I think Carolina.
Oh.
You said, what was one of the big reasons why you said Carolina wasn't going to do anything?
Their goaltending sucks, and they're missing that extra oomph on offense.
Well, I think their goaltending and defense has gotten a lot better. And when it comes to playoffs, I think they could have a decent shot at making a run in the playoffs. Am I going to bet it? No. The only team that I'm really, truly confident with is Vegas to win the West still. Although Vegas and Vancouver would be my 2 picks. And it would be Carolina and Florida for the Eastern Conference. I think those would be the final 4 teams come the end of the year. I think the Rangers fall off. I know the Rangers are on a hot streak right now. The only Western team that's on there that I would be scared of a little bit is Edmonton, but come playoff time, Edmonton decides to disappear, so I'm not really worried about that as much. I figured I'd mention that because I know you were talking about your futures. I figured I was looking towards.
And for me, I think the Rangers have potential. The only thing that I don't like about the Rangers is, and we'll probably notice this come playoff time, is their reliance on the power play is too significant. Because if you look at their last few games, 5-on-5, and this has been the story of the New York Rangers the last so years when they've had good regular seasons and then fall apart in the playoffs, is their 5-on-5 numbers are average at best, below average in some points. Like yesterday, they got dominated 5-on-5. They were given a few power plays at the end of the game and they score on them. They're over-reliant on the power play, and that's not going to continue into the playoffs where power plays are not called as much and things along those lines. You're not going to get the same opportunities that you do in the regular season, and I think that's going to be the downfall of the New York Rangers this year. As much as I think that I don't know who stops them in the East, on the flip side, it could be just a team that doesn't end up in the box.
It's either Florida or Carolina that stops them in the East.
Yes.
In my opinion. But head to the chat, Nick. I'm quickly checking college basketball stuff to see if there's any plays that we need to put up. Because I did not do that last night.
There's
now,
nothing.
I'd like to try to find one. I'm going to try to. Did you update the numbers this morning?
No.
I'm going to try to find one extra play to make 3 plays for today. Because I have 2 of them that is not spreadsheet plays. So that I sent you last night.
Justin coming in saying, yes, sir. What's good? The stacked pot of the day is Southeastern Louisiana, the Lions, -2.
Yep. Like Seal. Hold on, I want to see what Seal is doing this day. They're a pick'em essentially against Lamar, who is 2-10 on the road. I like that. There you go.
Tim Earle saying walking to the house now. Fair enough.
Oh, yeah. I texted that when I was walking to the house.
Yeah. Let's get it today, y'all. Good luck. Yep. Appreciate it. Stop Geo. What's good, Nicholas Handy? Supness. So far, looking at Sabres in regulation, Wings Kraken over. I'm kind of on the opposite side. I kind of want to get involved with that under and Wings Kraken. Canucks Wild under. I can see it. Blues Leafs over. I can see it. Stars Bruins under. Lightning team total over. 2-leg parlay minus 110. 110 with the Knights and the Canes and reg. I was kind of looking, and I want to see what the odds are on it now at getting plus 2.5 goals with Blackhawks in that game. Mrazek revenge game against his former team there. So we'll see. This is the first time I've bet the Bruins, and it hasn't been the chalkiest play on the board. I am also on Boston Bruins today. Yes. To quote Nasty Nate, Bruins smash. We'll get into that game in a little bit. 6-2 in college basketball yesterday. There you go. Florida Atlantic over 147.5. Minnesota -4. Lost with Siena. 1 with Niagara. 1 with East Carolina. Temple winner. Iona loser. And South Florida. There you go. May parlay Tampa Bay, Ottawa over 6.5, and Jets money line. I am on the. I'm on Calgary, and we'll get into that game in a little bit as well. St. Louis Blues plus 133. Already on it. Winnipeg minus 127. I'm against you there. Stars plus 110. I'm against you there. Houston -9 and Texas -8.5. And then he's also saying Jacques Vaughn is fired. Head coach of the Brooklyn Nets has been canned. So maybe looking to back the Brooklyn Nets next game.
Yes, I saw that this morning. That's the first thought I had was I'm going to back them in their next game.
Yeah. Supness. What's good, Lex? Owen saying great take on the Canes, Tim, of course, with the Canes profile picture. Kochekov.
I don't like the Canes. It was just the look.
Yeah. See, I don't know if it's sustainable it may be sustainable because of the defense that they play in front of Kochekov and Martin. That's the only way I think it's sustainable. If they even go to be league average when it comes to defensively, they're screwed. Yeah, Nets head coach, yeah. College basketball, Stila money line, Virginia Tech -2.5, Nicholls State -2, Alcorn State -9.5, Alabama A&M -3, Grambling State money line.
I found the third play that I'm going to have for the site. It's going to be Texas Southern. 9 and 14 Texas Southern is a 1.5 point favorite against 16-9 Southern.
There you go.
So there you go.
Mike Glennon had a great weekend betting college baseball. There you go.
There were some upsets in college baseball this weekend.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for the next rankings to come out.
I saw D1 still has ECU at 11.
Oh, the Division 1 that one doesn't matter.
You ready to get into some hockey?
I guess.
All right, let's do that. We have the Buffalo Sabres. They're at home here. 12:30 start time for this game. So this one starts in a little bit less than 2 hours. With the Sabres as -180 favorites with a total of 6.5. Line opened up at 230 for the Sabres, and by 130 it was down to a 194. Since then, it's done nothing but move towards the Ducks. So it's been all Ducks. It's moved from 230. That immediately went down to 210 though. So like 2 minutes later. So it really opened up at 210, and it's now gone to a 183. Line opened up at 6.5 at -101. It's now at 6.5 at +102. So we've had a move towards the under, and we've had a move towards the Ducks in this game here. Taking a look at the cash flow in this one here, where we're going to have a little bit more cash flow for these games because they're earlier in the day. So I think the lowest we have is 3,500 tickets. So something interesting there. We have 71% of the tickets and 61% of the cash is on the Buffalo Sabres, and this line is dropping towards the Ducks. We have 43% of the tickets and 52% of the cash is on the over. 8,300 tickets in, and the line's moving towards the under in this game here. I kind of like this under. That was the first thing that kind of popped out to me was under the total in this game. I have this game projected at around 5.64 goals. Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen has been one of the top goaltenders since, I believe, January when it comes to expected goals or goals saved above average. And on the flip side, John Gibson, his numbers have been pretty good this year as well. 101.31 expected goals against, only 98 goals allowed. So he's been about 3 goals saved above average this season as well. So both of these guys have been above average goaltenders so far this year. I have the Buffalo Sabres priced around, I'm trying to do math in my head, around a 175 in this game. So I think this line is kind of correct when it comes to the line of the money line. I was looking towards the under in this game here. That would be my only lean with the way the market's moving as well. Kind of tells me under. What have these two teams been doing as of late, totals wise? The Sabres have been a decent under team.
Yeah,
361 over. Their offense has fallen off, other than the 7-0 win against the Kings. They've scored 3-0-1-1 in their last 4 games, other than if you take out that 7-0 outburst. And on the flip side, we had the Anaheim Ducks coming in off of a game where they gave up 9 goals.
Yeah.
Previous to that, 5-1 win over Ottawa, 5-0 loss against Montreal, 5-3 loss against Edmonton. I kind of lean under the total. Do I want to get my day started with an under? Maybe. That would be the only way I'd look in this game, is going under the total here with the Sabres and the Ducks. I see no value on the Sabres in this spot. It would probably be Ducks or nothing if I had to bet a side, but no play here.
I know it's my Sabres. What was the last time? Well, remember the last time these two teams faced off? It was a 4-2 game, which makes it look a lot better than it actually was, because that was a game where the Sabres were getting dominated the entire game. They scored their first goal with like 2.5 minutes to go. They scored another one real quick and then got an empty netter against them. So that game was looked a lot closer than it actually was. I think this is a revenge spot for the Sabres. I know. I'm a Nuggets. I'm a Sabres fan. I like the Sabres. Whatever. I think the Sabres had this one circled on their schedule, being like, all right, we got to get one of our worst losses of the year was arguably against this team when they were completely non-existent the entire game. And I think they're going to circle this one. I think they pounce on them early. So I like the Sabres in this one. I took their puck line. I'm balling out. Call me a homie, whatever.
And the Ducks are a bad team, but fading a team off of 9-2 loss is not something I'm particularly interested in doing.
And I wouldn't have I wouldn't have done that if it wasn't for their previous game against each other.
Fair.
Kind of recent history like that. So can't believe Volkanovski lost.
Yeah, we already touched on that one.
Oh, sorry.
We were there, right there.
Yo. What's up, Mr. Kryptonite? Went 1-1 with unders last night. There you go. South Carolina pitching looked better than I expected. I don't even know I didn't even see what South Carolina did this weekend. I know ECU swept Ryder and did not move. Arkansas, Nick, lost to an unranked team at home. They went from number 3 in the nation to number 2 in the nation.
How?
Florida lost to St. John's. So
it's that beautiful SEC bias.
Yeah. Well, no, they dropped Florida, but anyway. Southern on a 7-game win streak. Can't jump in front of that chain with Texas Southern. Then why is Texas Southern favored in that game? Had Kings, Pens, and Rangers Isles.
For unders.
Unders, yeah. Sabres win. Hit the music. They are playing today, and we're not hitting the music for it for right now. This is my favorite under 6.5 for the night. There you go. Sabres puck line in the first period. Sure, because I think they have – if they're going to win this game, they have to jump out early, in my opinion. You like the Ducks. Good morning, gentlemen. Good morning, Untouchable. Blue and gold today, Sabres and Blues. Okay. Nets plus 110 locked in for Thursday. I'm going to be right there with you. I'm probably going to try Oilers game under. What do the Oilers got?
They
Against Arizona. Interesting. Went 1-2 in hockey yesterday. Should have swept. I'm guessing you had the Penguins and the Islanders too.
And hockey dogs. He lost with the Yotes.
Oh, okay.
I've moved on this game. I've already moved on this game. I got $1.25 with Boston last night. Let's get into it here. We have the Boston Bruins taking on the Dallas Stars. Minus 130 favorites are the Bruins. With a total of 6 in this game. Line opened up at a 120. It's up to a 126 on BetOnline for Boston. Line opened up at a minus 101 for the over 6. It's now minus 103 for the over 6. So we have a move towards the over, and we have a move towards the Boston Bruins in this spot here. We have 75% of tickets, 75% of cash is on the Bruins, 6,900 tickets in. And then we have 60% of tickets, 51% of cash is on the over. The lines move slightly towards said over in this spot here. And maybe this is a wake-up call for the Boston Bruins in this game. We have a Bruins team that's lost 4 in a row. And then let's take a look over here in the Atlantic right now, where we have a brand new first-place team. It's the Florida Panthers. So during this 4-game losing streak for the Boston Bruins, they have now relinquished their first-place lead in the Atlantic Division. These two teams already played so far this year. It was in Dallas on November 6, 2023, and the Bruins won 3-2. They've won 8 of the last 10 meetings against this Dallas Stars team. Dallas is coming in off of an overtime loss against the Edmonton Oilers, which snapped their 3-game winning streak, which they beat Nashville, Carolina, Montreal. I think this is a wake-up call for Boston now that they've fallen out of first place in their division. I believe this is the last game of a homestand as well, which has been absolutely putrid for them. I apologize. Nope. I need to take a look at their future games, not their past games, because I believe they hit the road after this. Yep, they head to the West Coast after this. They play Edmonton, Calgary, Vancouver, Seattle. So they have their West Coast trip. This is their 7th game of the homestand. And they have won 1 game, which was a 4-0 win against Vancouver. I think they end the homestand here with a win here today. I got the Boston Bruins at minus 125 in this game.
Hear me out. Bruins President's Trophy plus 900.
No.
Why? Who do you think's winning it?
Either Vancouver, Florida, Vegas. There's better options than Boston.
Well, if you like Vegas, then 40 to 1 for Vegas.
Or you know what I mean. Vancouver, Florida are my 2 picks.
Well, they're 2 to 1 and 325. Then
Yeah,
Stars are 550, Jets are 750, Bruins and Rangers are both 9 to 1. Colorado, Carolina, Edmonton 20 to 1. The fact that Edmonton is still in the conversation after being dead last place in the league at one point this year is crazy. But no, I'm on the Bruins as well. As you mentioned, I think it's a wake-up call for sure. After losing a bunch of games in a row, now you go up against the Dallas Stars, who also have been a little bit shaky as of late. No, I do like the Bruins. At this point, I gave out their money line last night, minus 120. At this point, we'd have to puck line it.
I'm seeing 125s.
You're still seeing 125s? Well, you put in 130, so I'm just going.
I rounded up. It was like 128.
Well, you can get 2 to 1 for their puck line today, so I would look towards that if I'm betting anything. Skinner and Thompson both 1.5 points. I'm gonna say no. Thompson's just been non-existent. I don't know what's going on with him, but if you're going after anybody on the Sabres, Jordan Greenway props could be interesting. JJ Peterka props, Dylan Cousins props. Like those would be the guys I would be going after. I would not be going after the Taves, Thompson, Skinner line. They haven't really been doing anything. So figure out that one out there. Bruins, yes. Had Islanders, Kings, Coyotes. Gotcha. Canes in regulation.
That's chalky.
Dude, come on. What's their puck line?
Minus 170.
Oh, God, dude. No, under in that game. Bruins and the unders. Sweaty under. I can see an under. Sharks plus 1.5 against Vegas. It's not a bad option. Puck line for Bruins. Houston minus 8.5. Yep. And if it's the Ducks, Tage could go off against them. He could. I'm hoping to see a resurgence from Tage Thompson, but according to Money Puck, Nick, we got the Sabres have a 4.1% chance to make the playoffs. So you're saying there's a chance.
Totally.
Let's jump into the next game, Nick.
Yeah, we have the Maple Leafs and the St. Louis Blues. We have the Maple Leafs minus 150 favorites, total of 6.5 in this game. Here, let's take a look at the line history in this spot where we have this game opened up with the Maple Leafs as minus 164 favorites. It's gone down to a 153. So we've had an 11-cent line movement here towards the Toronto Maple Leafs, or towards the St. Louis Blues. I apologize. Line opened up at a 6.5 minus 101. It's up to a 6.5 at minus 106. So we've had a movement towards the over, and we've had a movement towards the Blues. We have 49% of the tickets, 77% of the cash is on the St. Louis Blues, 6,037 tickets in. And then we have 44% of the tickets are on the under, and 52% of the cash is on the under, with the line moving towards the over in this spot here. These two teams just played 6 days ago in Toronto. The Maple Leafs won that game 4-1 in an absolutely dominating defensive effort by the Maple Leafs in that game there, where the St. Louis Blues put up a whopping 1.68 expected goals for. I'm taking a look at what this game. I have this game projected at a 6.5, but I have this game projected with the Blues more towards a pick 'em here in this spot. I got plus 135 in this game. You guys already know what I'm going to be saying with this game. We had the Blues as a home underdog. If you've bet them every single time this year, 12-4 up 12.97 units. 12.69 units if you've bet the St. Louis Blues at home every single time as a dog this year. And they've beaten some good competition. Edmonton, they've beaten Vancouver, they beat Dallas twice. They've beaten some pretty good teams at home as dogs. And I think that this is a nice little opportunity for them to get a little bit of revenge from last game as well. That's minus 150, but I really want that St. Louis team total over as well at 2.5. I have this game projected. I have them projected for 3.45 goals. I'm going to move on it even at the chalky number it is at minus 150. A little pricey, but I'm okay with doing that with team totals. Blues team total over 2.5 and minus 150 for me as well. I'm going to double down on the Blues in this spot.
Good luck too. I stayed off of this one. I know you love doing the Blues at home. That's fine. I still think that this is going to be a Toronto team that they need to take a step up. Still, although they are still third in the Atlantic, but they are nowhere near the top two. They are 9 points behind the Bruins, so they're not gonna catch they're gonna face either Florida or Boston in the first round. They already know that. Well, actually, they don't, because actually Tampa Bay is 1 point behind Toronto. So they're not fully secure yet, which is crazy to see. We could easily see Toronto miss the playoffs, because they're only up in the playoffs by 6 points. A little bit of a fall. You get passed by Tampa Bay and New Jersey or something, or even the Islanders or something like that, and you're out of the playoffs at the moment. I lean towards the Maple Leafs. Obviously, I'm not betting this game, so completely kind of just a stay away from me.
Sure.
I will say I think I'm against you in the next game. I didn't bet it, but because you mentioned it last night, but I kind of lean. I like the other side of the next game.
Sure.
4.5% after tonight. Let's get it, real deal. Leafs money line. There you go. Mr. TNT Tage Thompson has been very mid this season, disappointing as a fan of him. Yeah, it has been very disappointing to see, for sure. A Blues money line, a small sprinkle on the reverse puck line. Good luck. Under. There you go. Who is Joel Hofer?
It's the backup or the 1B goaltender, more of backup in St. Louis, and I'm projecting Bennington today. And even if it is Hofer, I'm totally fine with it. I like either of them over the Samsonov.
There you go. Cappit and Sheen, anytime goals? Shen, sorry.
Captain Braden Shen.
I know you're on hockey, but do you like the over in Virginia Tech and Virginia? I like Virginia Tech. We've bet 2 totals this year. We're 0-2 in totals. I haven't bet a total since. So I'm just on Virginia Tech in that game. Blues lost to Nashville. LOL. Their whole team is out.
Who?
Nashville is decent when they want to be.
Whose whole team is out?
Toronto.
I think they're expecting their full lineup back.
Okay. Well, we'll head to this game, which I almost gave out and bought out, and then you mentioned one side, and I just kind of just stayed away from it. Then, this should be a good game, Nick.
Yeah, this is one I've got my eyes on. This is a big game for. This is a game that I need Vancouver to take care of business as well with when it comes to my future with St. Louis to make the playoffs. I need Minnesota to start losing games as well as Nashville and as well as Calgary and stuff like that, which I did bet Calgary. So I'm not completely betting with my future. So don't get that twisted, people. Line opened up at a -120. It's up to a -125 now for the Vancouver Canucks. So the lines move towards Vancouver in this spot here. Line opened up at a 124. It's down to a 120 or 125. It's down to a 124. So a 1 cent line movement towards the under and a slight move towards the Canucks. A 5 cent line movement towards Vancouver in this spot here. 69% of the tickets, 88% of the cash is on Vancouver. The lines move towards them. 6,100 tickets in. 58% of the tickets, 60% of the cash is on the under in this game as well. And this line is moved a penny towards the under. Looking at this spot here for me, there's a pretty clear and obvious goaltending advantage in this game with the Vancouver Canucks, Thatcher Demko versus whoever they want to throw out there, whether it's Gustafsson or whether it is Demko. And I see value on that. I see value on the under in this game. I do. But on the flip side, I see even more value here with the Canucks. My price for the Canucks should have been around 140, 150 in this game. So I see value here on this spot. I think the reason why this line is not as high as it was, as it is Minnesota's has decent success against this Vancouver team. They've played twice this year. They've actually split the 2 games. Both have gone under 6.5. 2-0 win for Vancouver on December 7th and a 2-1 win in a shootout on December 16th. Vancouver did lose their last game 4-2 against Winnipeg. They have lost 18 games this year or 19 games this year. The previous 18 games after a loss to him, 15-3. Vancouver doesn't lose 2 in a row. They've only done it 3 times all season long. They've never lost 3 in a row. So that's something interesting to keep an eye out for. That's why they're currently the President's Trophy leaders, frontrunners, and that's why they currently lead Vegas by 10 points in their division. 10 points 12 points in that division. This Vancouver Canucks team has been dominant all year long, and I think they continue that here. We're getting them at a nice, reasonable price. I think it's because they're on the road, really, and this is a little bit of a desperate Minnesota Wild team. I see them falling off the Wild, though. I'm not a believer in Minnesota. Their numbers are not great. Their goaltending is not good either. They're a team I'm looking to fall apart, continue there, and they're not a playoff team, and I think they'll continue not to be a playoff team here. I'm on the Canucks here. I got them at $1.15 last night.
Yeah, I kind of leaned towards Minnesota, and the only reason why is because of Minnesota's game yesterday or 2 days ago. They completely fell apart against the Sabres, and I feel like this could be a decent bounce-back spot for them. I know you say bounce-back spot's not for good teams. It's not for bad teams, and you think Minnesota's a bad team. I'm not entirely – I don't know about that. I think Minnesota is definitely live in this game. And you know how high I am on Vancouver this year. You know how much I love Vancouver. I lean towards the Wild in this one.
Fair. Yeah, no. The Wild are a bet against team for me.
Robert's rooting for the Wild and the over. Dallas money line. We're on the opposite side. Under. And Brock Besser goal. He's from Burnsville, Minnesota.
It's not a bad look.
There you go. Let's keep on rolling, Nick.
Yeah, moving on. The Seattle Kraken and the Detroit Red Wings, the Kraken minus 140 favorites, total of 6 in this game. Line opened up at a minus 110. It's up to a 140 now, or 138. So we've had a big move towards the Kraken here in this spot. Line opened up at a 6 at minus 125. It's now a 6 at minus 116. So we've had a move towards the under. We've had a move towards the Kraken. And we have 57% of the tickets are on the Kraken, but 53% of the cash is on the Red Wings, 5,200 tickets in. 67% of the tickets and 75% of the cash is on the under in this spot as well. Taking a look at my projections for this game, I have this game projected for the Kraken to be favorites around minus 130. So I think this line's about correct, minus 130, minus 135 range. I'm kind of interested in this under in this spot here. Decent amount of money is coming in on the under. Which makes sense. These two teams, when you look at their offensive metrics, have kind of have not been very good. The Kraken, and this line has moved slightly towards the under. Okay, the Kraken are averaging 2.466 expected goals for the last 10 games, and the Red Wings 2.71. So both these teams are not doing much offensively. Defensively, they've been pretty good, 2.9 and 2.88 expected goals against on average the last 10 games. I have this game projected for 5.07 goals. I'm interested in this under, and I think I'm going to move on this under here in this spot.
Yeah, this is another one. I mean, you do have. I know you mentioned the under. Kraken have gone under 5 straight games, and I feel like they've been doing it with defense. 1-1, 3-3, and 2. Their last 5 games that they've allowed. Detroit, I still feel like is a team that's going to end up falling off. They're currently in a playoff spot by 2 points over the New Jersey Devils. But I think Kraken win this game. Kraken regulation maybe, or even puck line here would have to be the spot that I go towards. This is a Detroit team that I feel falls off down the stretch. They were a fun story in the beginning of the year. I don't see them making the playoffs. I see them as a little bit out of the playoff picture at the end of the year. So I'm going to be on the Kraken here. I'll look towards their puck line.
I was able to get a 6.5 here at minus 130. I'm taking that for that to have that hook there. Detroit, Seattle under 6.5 minus 130.
Okay. Alex is lying. I don't know who Alex is, but he's lying.
That's the goaltender for Detroit.
I know, Nick. I was joking. Jesus. Kraken regulation, yes. Let's keep rolling through the games, Nick.
Yeah, this one's. I'm not a fan of this one, but let's get into it. Minus 285 road favorites are the Edmonton Oilers with a total of 6.5 in this spot. I have to get up the numbers from last night's game for the Coyotes because that game was still going on when I was putting my spreadsheet together. Let's be able to punch those in. Where the that 4-3 score looks to be very flattering for the Coyotes. And I said this yesterday that I was looking at the Coyotes puck line plus a goal and a half at minus 105 because this is a team that, for whatever reason, as bad as they've been the last few years, are always a thorn in the side of the Colorado Avalanche. I don't know why. I don't know how to explain it. That's usually the case. And I have this game projected around 6.5 goals, and I have this game projected for the Coyotes to be, or for the Oilers to be around $2 favorites in this game. Am I interested in betting this game at all? Not particularly. Let's take a look here at the line history on this spot here, where it opened up at a 275. It's down to a 271. So we've had a slight movement towards the Yotes. This line opened up at a 6.5 at minus 130. It's down to a 6.5 at minus 123. So we've had a move towards the under here as well in this spot, where we have 86% of tickets and 99% cash on the over. The line's moving slightly towards the under, which is kind of interesting there. 6% of the tickets are on the Yotes money line, but 64% of the cash. But on the flip side, 73% of the tickets, 84% of the cash is on the Oilers puck line. I have no interest in this game. At the price, it'd be Yotes or nothing. Do I feel the need to get involved with this game? Absolutely not. Pass.
I kind of like the angle that who do you call it gave out Joe Kryptonite with the under. I think this one could be a close competitive one, and maybe like an overtime, maybe a draw in this game. like a
Yotes
3-2
plus
in
1.5
overtime.
is minus 105.
Huh?
Yotes plus 1.5 minus 105.
I think I would rather go after draw in this game, but I think this one's a closer game than people think. Edmonton on the road, it's fine. I'm not saying that they're not a good road team, but I'm not going to lay 285 on them on the road. It would be a lean towards the Yotes. I kind of like the overtime draw on this one as well.
Yeah, the draw I'm seeing at plus 415. I kind of want to see real quick what the double result would be. Double chance, Yotes / draw. Double chance. Either the Yotes in regulation or the draw. Anything but Oilers in reg. Plus 125.
There you go.
It's not a bad look either.
Nick taking the under on a game I'm not on the under on.
Yeah.
I'm just going to trust Joe Kryptonite with his unders now. Parlay piece, Kraken, team total over. I like that. Yotes money line one more time. Let's do it. Over. Goals first period and the goal in first 10. I like the over 6.5. I kind of like the under in this game. 2 days before one of my favorite Yote money line of the year. Who are they playing in 2 days? Let me guess. Yep. Toronto.
Yes.
Oilers puck line? No. Oilers also probably puck? No. No puck line on that. We got some ugly games, I will say.
Yeah. I was staring down this one game, so I ended up pulling the trigger on it. I'm on the under 6.5 Buffalo and Anaheim. All right, we'll move on here. Vegas Golden Knights and the San Jose Sharks. The Knights minus 280 favorites, total of 5.5 in this game. Let's take a look at the line history in this spot where we have this line opened up at 267. It's down to its 265. So no surprise. We have a line move towards the Sharks with it being a crazy number there. And then line opened up at a 6 at plus 102. It's now a 5.5 at minus 120. So we've had a move towards the under in this game as well. And I kind of agree with the line movement here towards the under. We have 54% of the tickets, 79% of the cash on the over. You have the line moving towards the under. I'm projecting Aiden Hill and Kaapo Kähkönen in that. Kähkönen's been pretty good as of late. And when you look at what he's kind of doing right now is he's kind of helping his cause to play himself out of San Jose and get himself traded. This has been an okay under series. 3 of the last 5 between these two teams have gone under. Now, San Jose has gone over in back-to-back games, but they were an under team before that. It was a 1-0 game against Winnipeg, 2-3 against Anaheim, and 2-0 against Seattle. The Vegas Golden Knights have been a decent under team this year, and they've been a decent under team as of late. 3 of their last 4 games have gone under the total. At 5.5, I can only look towards the under in this spot. I want Kähkönen in that for this under, but I think this is a good under spot here in this one. You can get under 5.5 at even money. I kind of want to see what the 6 is because I feel a little bit better over the 6. So let me take a look what the 6 would be. 6 at minus 130. I'm kind of interested in under 6 here at minus 130 between just to have that in case there's an empty netter at the end and to make it 4-2 Vegas or 5 or like something like that. I can get it there. Under 6 minus 130 here for me. Vegas and San Jose.
I feel like I would want to take the 3 widespread games and take the draw on every single one of them. Because I feel like the draw is going to hit in one of them, and I'll be profitable because of it. That would kind of be my approach to it. So I would kind of look towards a draw. Maybe maybe the Sharks plus a goal and a half could be interesting too. Kind of deal. That's how I would kind of approach these games. Or it's trying to grab the dog in all 3 of them, which is the Yotes, the Sharks, and the Blackhawks. Kind of deal, but I'm not going to go crazy with that. Just kind of a look at it right now. Maybe a look towards dogs and draws in those 3 games, but I would look towards. I think I'm going to be doing the draw in all 3 of those.
Fair.
Okay, Tim. Correct score 3-1 Oilers. No. How about 2-1 Oilers in overtime? My 3 hockey sources are Ian from the Ice Guys, the Earle Twins. Cool to see you guys do a show together. I know I've been out the past couple of days with a busy weekend and everything, and no NBA, so I just let Nick kind of run through the hockey games.
He was lacking heart and commitment.
Which NBA starts back up on Thursday, so
Nice.
another couple of days without NBA.
Isn't it nice?
Low key, yeah. Getting Sharks money line vibes, kind of like it. Under 4.5, sure. Stayed away from VGK and under. Never thought I'd be doing under 4.5 and then hedging with the correct score. That I've heard. Never thought of. Oh, interesting. Same thing with doing under 6.5 and then grabbing and then hedging with the 5-2 or 4-3. It's not a bad option. Vegas owns the Sharks. Everybody owns the Sharks. Parlay VGK money line. Nucks, Boston, Kraken, Flames, and Hawks. Good luck. VGK went 4+ goals previous meeting, but not scoring anymore. There you go. Let's head to this game, Nick. We got 3 games left.
Yeah, I've moved on this game too. Pre-show. We have the Winnipeg Jets and the Calgary Flames. The Jets -130 favorites, total of 5.5 in this game. Taking a look at the line history in this spot here, where it opened up at a -128.7, it's down to a 126. So we've had a slight move towards the Jets or the Flames in this game. Line opened up at a 5.5 at -101. It's down to 6 at -101. It's now down to a 5.5 at -112. Let's take a look at the cash flow in this game, where we have 66% of the tickets and 68% of the cash on the Jets, and there's been a 1 cent line movement towards the Flames. On the flip side, for the total, 58% of the tickets are on the under, and it's a 50-50 split on the cash for the total here in this one. I've moved on this game already. I'm on Calgary at +110 in this spot. I have Calgary more along the lines of a -115, -120 range in this spot. So I think that this is a spot where the Jets have really fallen off as of late. Granted, yes, they are coming in off of a nice win against Vancouver, which could be a potential letdown spot. Winnipeg did not look very impressive in that San Jose game. We cashed with the Sharks +2.5. And previous to that, they've kind of struggled. And this Calgary team, they're coming in off of an absolute embarrassment. And the Jets are coming off of one of their biggest wins in a while with that win over the Vegas Golden Knights. Or my bad, the Vancouver Canucks. So 3 straight losses here for the Flames here in this spot. I think this is a potential buy low spot for them. I like that +110 here with the Flames in this spot after a 5-0 beat down against the Red Wings. I look for them to bounce back here in this game. I think they're an okay team, the Flames, so maybe a bounce back. You can argue saying bounce backs are for good teams, whatever. I think they're an okay team. And getting beat 5-0, I think, is something to bounce back from. So I'm on the Flames here, +110. Also, this could be a potential letdown spot after the win against Vancouver.
I like the Flames. I have my future on them to make a playoff spot. So we are against each other. You got +170. I got +375. So I like the Flames. They're down 4 points to the Blues, which I think they can catch them, or they could catch the Kings.
Yeah, and who says when if the Blues make the playoffs, or if the Blues don't get the 8 seed, they don't get that 7 seed.
They're only down 4 points, so but Kings have 1 game in hand and 4 points up on them. But that's a close spot. I do like the Flames. I'm just gonna I'm gonna ride my future. Did I bet the game? No, I'm just gonna ride. I'm just gonna ride my future with that one, Nick.
Fair.
I don't like overs, but over 5.5. Maybe. Jets money line. No. Tim, I'm renewing my offer of Byram for Middlestad. Pass. No, thank you.
I heard Middlestad rumored with potentially with the Isles as a potential top 6 forward to look at.
Okay. Jets on a 3-game W streak feels like they've turned it back around. Flames tailspin, can't back them.
Sure.
Jets own Vancouver. Oddly, still no surprise. Wasn't surprised.
No, that line told you Winnipeg was winning that game. I like that. I wish I got in earlier on that.
There you go. I already got Blues to make playoffs at 360. Flames not making playoffs, sadly, in my opinion. Well, I got plus 375 for it, so I'm not going to – that's fine. Tim, how are the Sabres going to commit to Middlestad with so much money already committed to Cousins and Thompson at center? No, they got to commit to somebody. They can commit to one other player. So I feel like Middlestad would probably be the one, and Olofsson's the one to go. We can give you Olofsson for Byram. I feel like that one would be better for us. This one was part of my my balling out last night, Nick.
Yeah, and I think I'm gonna be making a move on this game, which I think might be a plus money move in this spot. Let's get into it. Chicago Blackhawks are at the Carolina Hurricanes, minus 480 for the Hurricanes, total of 5.5 in this spot. Take a look at the line history in this one here, where we have this line opened up minus 450. It's down to a 425 now on BetOnline. So we've had a move towards the Blackhawks in this game. Line opened up at a 6 at plus 102. It's now down to a 5.5 at minus 125. Let's take a look at the cash flow in this game here, where we have 40% of the tickets, 66% of the cash on the Blackhawks. The line's moved towards the Blackhawks here in this one. And then 29% of the tickets, 94% of the cash is on their puck line as well. So sharp money coming in on this puck line for the Blackhawks. 74% of the tickets, 98% of the cash is on the under in this game here. And I believe this line's moved slightly towards the line's moved from a 6 to a 5.5. So the line's moved towards the under here in this spot. And I can understand the move towards the under. I have actually at a 5.5. I think this game could be an over. And maybe this is one of those Blackhawk team total over, full game over type of games. And when it comes to the Blackhawks here, it's wow. Never mind. The only thing they're giving me for a Blackhawk team total is a 1.5 at minus 165. And the plus 2.5 for the Blackhawks is minus 145, which I think is a little bit pricey for me. But I think I'm going to be able to get around even money or plus 101 here. I want to punch in what the number is here on my calculator, where it is minus 101. Let's see. Yeah, minus 101. Nope, I typed that in backwards. Minus 145 and plus 147. Plus 101. Blackhawks plus 2. Blackhawks plus 2. We're doing like a minus 1 line. But it's taking the plus 1.5 and the plus 2.5 and making a plus 2 line. So Blackhawks plus 2 at plus 101 is what I'm going to end up moving on for this game.
Under. I like the under in this game. I think this is a 2-1 overtime type of game. You got Chicago that hasn't really been scoring all that much as of late. Even with Connor Bedard back in the lineup, they still struggled offensively.
Back one game.
Yeah, he's been back one game.
Two games. And they won last game. They put up 3 goals.
Yeah, but I still see them struggling against a Carolina defense that has played better as of late. And I mentioned Carolina earlier in the show, saying I kind of like a future for them to win the East. I'm not going to go as far as winning the Cup because I don't want them to win the Cup. But I'm obviously never laying minus 480 here. I will say let's quickly look it up, Nick, shall we? How much is it to see Bedard tonight?
Unfortunately, I have class, so I can't see Bedard tonight.
$40 a ticket. Never mind. Too expensive to see the Blackhawks. Anyways, under in this game. Under. Canes money line, absolutely not. How can you lay that much? No. Canes plus 2.5. I could see that. Canes team. Hawks plus 2.5. Yes. Canes team total over. No.
This is a better way of betting the Canes without laying minus 580 or minus 480. My bad.
That's the better way. Pass. The only lock is a team wearing red and black to win. Yeah. Blackhawks team total under. Yes. I think it's a 2-1 type of game. Do you like the under? Take the plus 2.5. Nah. The Blackhawks haven't won a road game since November 9th. Is that true?
Yeah, which is why I didn't take them to win, which is why I just took the plus 2.
Yeah, they're 4-23-1 on the road. Jeez. This might be an under 3.5. I could see it. If it goes over, Blackhawks win. Yeah. I will be satisfied with Blackhawks money line Saturday against Ottawa. Not going to use their winnings here. There you go. $40 for a ticket is cheap. After 2 tickets, with fees and everything, it would be $117 for me and Nick just to go to the game, not including parking and food and all that stuff. So a little bit too expensive to go see the Blackhawks. If it was Sabres, 100% I would be going. But under 2.5 at 15-1. I could see that. Who's saying it's not a 2-0 Canes game where they score an empty netter? Svechnikov goal. I could see it, but that's probably juice as all hell. I parlay Canucks, Bruins, Kraken, Leafs. Okay. Final game of the night, Nick.
Yeah, the Ottawa Senators and the Tampa Bay Lightning. The Lightning down to a 145, which is kind of concerning for me because of the bet I've already made on this game.
Yeah, I like
total 7. Huh?
I like the spot.
Actually, never mind. It's right back up to a 163. Okay. This line dropped and it'll come right back up. All right. So when I typed this up this morning, the line moved. And we're back to where it was. Let's take a look at the line history in this spot. Let's see if it represents that on BetOnline. Where this line opened up at minus 162, it got down to a 154 on BetOnline and moved to a minus 161. So we've had basically no line movement on this game. Line opened up at a 7 minus 101. It's a 7 at plus 104. Let's take a look at the cash flow in this game. 73% of the tickets are on the Lightning money line, but only 52% of the cash is on the Senators money line. 72% of the tickets are on the puck line for the Lightning. 73% of the tickets, 86% of the cash is on the over. And for me, this was not really a system play, or not a system play, but not a spreadsheet play for me because I have the Lightning around minus 165, minus 170 range, and now and they are in that range. And I think I just made a mistake and typed in the wrong number, so I think it was always 165. And I just messed up typing in lines this morning. This is pretty simple. Take a look at what the Lightning just did. They got their shit kicked in 9-2 against the Florida Panthers. And now they get a bad team to bounce back against. And yes, the Ottawa Senators are a bad team. They're not a good team. They are the 28th best team in the league. So there you go. So I am on the Lightning minus 110 on the spot for them to take care of business against the Senators. I have this game projected for 6.88 goals, so it's a slight lean towards the under 7. I don't like betting. I'll lean under 7 because I don't like betting overs at 7. But I'm more interested in the side in this game. I was kind of leaning towards the Lightning team total over 3.5. But that was like minus 145, and I think that's that line. There's really no edge on that. So just Lightning minus 1 for me here, minus 110 in this game. And if you like the bounce back theory of the Lightning, maybe Lightning first period minus half as well.
What is the craziest line I can get for this game? Because I think this is going to be your biggest blowout of the day. And yeah, I know that sounds crazy. Well, it doesn't really sound crazy to me. Would we be surprised if we came back tomorrow and the Lightning won 8-2 or something in that nature? Would we be surprised, Nick?
What?
If we came back tomorrow and the Lightning won by 5 to 6 goals.
No, wouldn't surprise me.
I could only get -2.5 at plus 235. Hold on. There should be options of Lightning to win by like 5+ goals or something like that. 'Cause I think this is going to be your biggest blowout.
It's your biggest blowout on the night. I can absolutely see that.
Or maybe look at correct scores. Well, they only have up to 6 goals. How about like a 6-1 game? I could say like 6-1, 40-1.
6-1 at 40-1. That's not a bad look. I don't mess with correct scores.
Oh no, I know that. Alternate like team total overs for them, or I see this one as a really good game for Tampa. So
fair.
Hurricanes puck line, no. And the only reason why I'm saying no, it's -165. So no. Martin is in. There you go. Over. Nick, please explain why this line is so short on Tampa.
I actually projected them to be around -160, -165. So I think that line was correct. I'm just playing the system play of you just got blown out 9-2 and you're a good team.
There you go.
And I think this line's a little short because Ottawa's been playing a little bit better at lately as well.
There you go. I'm trying to somebody mentioned something. I was trying to look it up. At 7, I lean under. No. Under. I see Tampa Bay going off tonight. That's just me. Yes. ESPN bet is hanging a Lightning team total over 3.5 at -125. I like it. 8-2 is a bit much. Is it though? 4-2. Tim, do a race to 6 goals.
Ooh, that's fun.
That's what I was trying to find is race, but there is no race 2 on Bovada. 5-2 there. Race to 5, race to 6. I can see it. Sens will score 4 goals. Then 8-4.
I look for Vasilevsky to show up tonight.
Yeah, I look.
So maybe a Sens team total under.
I will say, I'm just the 9-2 game was that.
Especially with this game being a 7, you're going to get a good team total number here for the Ottawa Senators. Team total under for the Sens.
It was Vasilevsky last game. Yikes!
Vasilevsky got absolutely lit up. Never mind. -175 for the Sens. Team total under. Not
Hurricanes, Oilers, money line is easy money.
I mean, they're -400 chalk, so you're laying -150 on that parlay minimum.
Well, that's all the games for today, Nick. Good job. You made it through an entire hockey slate. Before we head on out, if you guys are new to the channel, like, comment, subscribe, share, do all the good stuff. We appreciate all the support. We've kind of already mentioned the 3 college basketball plays we're on for today. Or if you haven't checked them out, I mentioned one of them earlier in the show, and the other 2 are free pick videos. So we got that there. For me, for hockey today, Sabres puck line, Bruins puck line now. I lean Minnesota. I know Nick's on the opposite side. I lean I kind of like the draws in the Arizona, San Jose, and Carolina game. I like the under in Carolina as well, and Tampa Bay by a lot.
Yeah, I am on. I added -120. Buffalo, Anaheim under 6.5. I'm on Boston Bruins -125. St. Louis Blues +135. Team total over 2.5 -150. Canucks -115. Detroit Seattle under 6.5. Vegas San Jose under 6. I'm on the Flames +110. I added the Blackhawks +2, and I'm on the Lightning at -1.
I'm shocked that you guys lean Flames.
I bet the Flames.
I like Flames to make the playoffs. So, thank you again for the show. Of course, Gio. Any game jumping out in college ball today, guys? Virginia Tech. I like Virginia Tech today. Both teams to score no +1100 in regulation. Interesting. I could dabble that. Sabres, Ducks under. Maybe. But that's going to do it for this edition of the Earle Sports Bet Show. We'll be back tomorrow for another one, and it starts in less than an hour. Let's go Sabres.